He wrote my card in cursive, and he's lucky I grew up writing cursive. Some of our guys.
You're the best.
I mean, I can read.
Or the mic is live now.
Katrina, do you want me to read your public comment? Or would you like to do it yourself? I can read it, what you sent me, if that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna include it in the general public comments, so.
Yeah, I don't care, whatever you prefer. If I can stay wrapped up, I'm fine to stay wrapped up. I'm fine. It's like,
All right, let's get started.
Right.
I'd like to call to order the Police and Fire Commission meeting Wednesday, July 1st at 2026 at 6:30 p.m. 108 North Cape Brown Street, second floor, Council Chambers, Berlin, Wisconsin. Meeting is open to the public and City Hall is handicap accessible. City meetings can be watched live or recorded on the City of Berlin YouTube page. Roll call, please.
Monahan? Here. Hess?
Here.
Ross?
Here.
Kittle?
Here.
Prince? Here. Horn?
We have no virtual attendees to seat. I do have a general public comment from our mayor that she wanted me to share with you guys. So I'm just going to read it word for word, what she had sent to me. She said, I fully recognize that the Police and Fire Commission has the statutory authority to hire the police chief, and I respect that responsibility. My request is not about participating in the decision-making process or influencing the commission's vote. Rather, I believe the mayor should be allowed to sit in on interviews as an observer because of the critical working relationship that exists between the mayor and the police chief. The police chief is one of the most visible and important leadership positions in the city. The mayor works closely with the chief on public safety issues, emergency situations, community concerns, budgeting decisions, policy matters, and public communication. Residents often look to the mayor for answers regarding the direction and leadership of the police department. While the commission has the authority to make the hiring decision, allowing the mayor to observe interviews would help ensure a smooth transition, foster a strong working relationship from the outset, and provide valuable insight into the candidates' leadership styles, communication skills, and vision for the department. I am not seeking a vote, a ranking authority, or a ranking role, or any authority over the commission's decision. I am simply requesting the opportunity to observe a process that will directly impact one of the city's most important leadership positions and the working relationship between the city leadership and the police department. Collaboration and communication between elected officials and appointed boards ultimately benefit the community we all serve. Allowing the mayor to be present as an observer would support that goal while fully preserving the commission's independence and authority. That's all I have. So that's a comment I received that I just wanted to relay with you guys, that how she felt. So we're going to move on to number 4, approval of open and closed minutes from June 3rd, 2026. The recommendation is to approve the June 3rd, 2026 open and closed minutes of the Police and Fire Commission.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes from June 3rd, open and closed.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Fire department expenses, recommendation approve the June 2026 fire department expenses as presented.
As I explained last month, this month was going to be a little healthier as far as expenses go. We had fire inspection services. They do all our fire inspections. They do it twice a year. They got the first half done. So we got billed for the first half of fire inspections, as you can see. EOS Solutions, that's the computer program we use for reporting all fire incidences, which then reports it to the state for us, along with a few other modules that it has. That's a yearly bill. Wisconsin State Firefighter dues, that's the dues for each of the firefighters to be part of the Wisconsin State Firefighters Association. It's $30 a member, so it comes to that. Fox Valley Tech, we had 2 of our junior firefighters go through firefighter one, and we took the state exams through the tech. We didn't have to pay for the classes, we just had to pay for the exams. The tractor supply, we need a rubber mallet and some straps for on the trucks. Fuel, which is a monthly expense. For Red Power, like I stated before, we did the pump test, the DOT inspections, and everything there, so that came in quite high. Through Darley, we bought a few helmet flashlights. McQueen, we had received a grant for $3,000 towards a $4,300 electric fan, so our portion was $1,300. So that's that. And then I added OTA is Oshkosh Tent Awning. It's supposed to be hose bed tarp, not trap. Tarp because on engine 69, the tarp and Velcro weren't working anymore, so we had to get that replaced. And then we had a pair of fire boots that went bad that we had to get replaced too for one of our guys.
Does anybody have any questions on the expenses?
I make a motion to accept the expenses.
We have a- Go ahead.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, fire department reporting and updates.
For the fire calls, the sheet says 13 calls. We had 2 more calls after this was printed out, so we had 15 for the month of June, bringing our year-to-date total to 81. As you can see, going down the list, there was a number of accidental or malfunctioning alarms. They go off and we just have to go and respond to make sure there's nothing going on. We did have the storms back on June 10th that put electrical lines in jeopardy with, usually there's trees or tree branches that fall on them, either knock the lines down or we're burning off the line. Couple minor car accidents. Did have another lift assist that EMS needed help with. We had a major structure fire on the 16th on Klondike Road. And on the 24th, we had more bad weather. We had to split the fire trucks up due to the tornado warnings. And then one that isn't on here, on the 26th, we had a lawnmower that caught fire that was in the garage. Luckily, a neighbor was able to pull the lawnmower out before some severe damage was done, but there was still some damage done. Any questions on the calls? Okay. Going on the maintenance issues, like stated, we did pump testing, DOT inspections, and we got a new tarp for the whole bed of 69. That pretty much was the extent of the maintenance. As far as past month activities, last month we trained on road water movement during both meetings. We put on a new member, Eric Louie. We were not able to attend the farmer's market hometown hero night because we had that house fire. So that was about it. Here in the future, next week we're going to do some water rescue drills for our meeting, and our second meeting is family night, which we'll invite all the firefighters to bring their significant others, children, and put on a demonstration for that, and serve them some hot dogs and hamburgers. Then obviously this week's going to be a busy week because Friday we'll have one of the trucks down at the park during the afternoon. We also have to take a truck to Nash Grove because we're having a 250th parade. And then we'll be up on the hill for lighting and fireworks Friday night. So pretty much for the weekend.
Hopefully the storms stay away.
Yeah. Any questions on anything?
Anybody have any questions? Moving on to number 7. Do I have to do this in order, Jesse, or can we save number 7 until the end?
Then you need to say that you're gonna change the order,
Okay.
but you can't.
I did put number 7 on here, the police chief interview process. We would discuss the timeline, interview panel discussion. The recommendation is to discuss with action as appropriate. I feel like we should do that at the end. That way, anybody that doesn't need to be here, because it's going to be kind of a lengthy discussion. Does everybody agree with that? Or we can discuss it now too. I'd rather just get Noah's stuff in and then we can discuss at the end. Does that, do we need to make a motion to move it or?
I don't think so. I think you can just do that. You just need to let everybody know that's what we're doing.
All right, sounds good. We'll come back to number 7. We'll move on to number 8, police department expenses. Recommendation is to approve the June 2026 police department expenses as presented.
so I'll start with the credit card payments that we have. We have a handful of postage. 3 of those were for blood kits and 1 was for a package to the crime lab. There is a larger one on there, that's because I got a little stamps. The post office is increasing the price of stamps again, so I want to capitalize on it for that price increase here soon. Searchy is for plastic evidence bags, so those are heat sealed evidence bags. We're getting a credit from Verizon for SIM cards, so we should get some reimbursement for that, because we switched from Verizon to FirstNet, so we didn't use our whole credit line for that month. There's 3 external hard drives listed on there, so with our move to body worn cameras, all the video footage is just eating up all the space on our workstations, on our computers, so it's essentially making them inoperable if videos aren't being deleted in a timely manner and things. So those we got those so guys could operate off of those and not take up the actual hard drive space. The shot timer, that's a training tool for firearms. Basically just timing how fast people can get rounds off, draws, things like that. The blood draws, those are for OWIs. Staples and vehicle wash. The vehicle wash is for the squads. The staples is for firearms training, again, to staple up targets onto cardboard. Officer Plath made a uniform purchase for a pair of boots. We had to get batteries. I think our tint meters were dying and we need replacement batteries for those. There was a chief posting that I think the cost will be shared by the city on that. And then more firearms training tools. We got cardboard backing for targets. So that's what the paper targets would be stapled onto, is the cardboard backing. So we kind of got the trifecta for firearms training there. And then Officer Lippold, this was an add-on, got pants from his uniform allowance. And then I just registered staff to go to a body worn camera redaction training as part of our expansion with body worn cameras, or as we continue to move forward with those. It's a Wisconsin specific training for redaction, and neither of us really have that sort of training, so that'd be pretty good to take into that. Any questions with the credit card payments? So for the vouchers, we had spot 60 got standard oil change and tire rotation. Officer Zacharias got a new bulletproof vest in. The cost on that is the $1,097.23, but I was able to submit for the bulletproof vest grant, so I'll hopefully get the 50% reimbursement on that. We've been part of that grant for a few years now. The Ninja One backup storage, that's a corporate network backup for our server. The Microsoft license is, again, similar corporate network payment that we pay yearly, and then the monthly printer fee and no interpreter fee this year, or this week, month, I should say. Any questions about the vouchers?
Does anybody have any questions?
I'll make the motion to approve the police department expenses for month of June.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 9, police department reporting and updates.
Yeah, so moving on to the activity extract. PD was busy this last month. Traffic stops have increased significantly. If you guys had a chance to take a look at it from last month. So that increase in traffic stop led to increased OWI enforcement, and we had multiple drug investigations as well. Related to vehicle crashes, we had 3 property damage crashes that were parking lot related, and then 2 that were in intersections. Theft reports were about similar, and domestic abuse investigations were slightly higher. Any questions on the statistics?
Any past month or upcoming activities?
Yeah. No, not that good. Kind of give you guys an update. We have not heard back from the SRT body worn camera grant. I know Chief Paul Mocker provided an update, I think, at the last meeting. I logged into the portal tonight. There wasn't any change. It just says your application was completed and it's in a green status, and that's it. So not sure when we're going to hear anything on that. He probably let you know I did graduate from the Wisconsin Command College in June. I appreciate your guys' support in sending me there and letting me go to that. The biggest part of that was building connections around the state with just other lieutenants and captains and chiefs, and we all have a group chat now that we actually bounce stuff off of each other, so it was very beneficial. This past month, we had officers at the farmers market for the Hometowns Hero Night. I think we had an officer there for the entirety of it. Outside of that, we've been busy. I mentioned the drug investigations. We executed 4 residential search warrants in the past month, all related to drug investigations. And those have all, I think the majority or all of them yielded a significant amount of product and criminal charges. Coming up, we got the 3rd of July event. Staffing's looking good, so we should be able to provide control to that event for the entirety of it and interact with the community while we're out there. Outside of that, our training fiscal year has come to an end, so the DOJ training year ends June 30th. All of our officers have met and or exceeded the training requirement for the year. So since we have done that, I can submit for reimbursement to the state for training funds to be reimbursed back to us. I think it's around $300 an officer, but I'd have to check that. And that'll be due by the end of the month here, so I'll make sure to get that in. Finally, the last thing, back to the body-worn camera program. I know we touched briefly on that. I mentioned to Jesse that I am working on a proposal to modernize our open records fee schedule to kind of fit into or include body-worn cameras and specifically for redaction. So we get a lot of for-profit organizations like YouTubers that want our body-worn camera video or are going to want it when they realize we have it. And state statute does allow us to charge, in essence, Stephanie's wage times the hour it takes to redact it. But that's not in our current fee schedule. So I intend to work with the council to get a new fee schedule updated, just to keep all of us on the same page. That is it for the activities.
Does anybody have any questions? I have a question. How's the new position going?
It's going. I'm learning a lot, trying to do the best I can and make sure, like I said, the patrol staff and everyone just keeps operating as is and we keep moving forward.
If you need anything, let us know.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You have our support. Anybody else have any other questions? I'm gonna go back to number 7, the police chief interview process timeline and interview panel discussion. The recommendation is to discuss with action as appropriate. Now, I know we had this in, a lot of this we were doing in closed session, but I've been reached out to by some people that we do a lot more in, stuff that we can talk about in open public, we talk about in open public. So we can, discuss what's the next step in the process that we want to.
I do. Chairman, I've done some research, and I think it goes back to my background in planning. So I have something that I looked at. And this is me, not the commission, okay? But I'd like to present it. So as you talked about, we talked about different things, and we have like the interview process in the panel. So I looked at different things of what we would look at for a panel. And in that, I looked at, we would have 2 commission members because we can't have more than that because it would be a meeting. Then I looked at the law enforcement aspect of it. And there, which is very important, we get a representative from the Green Lake County Sheriff's Office, and I did meet with the sheriff and the chief deputy. The chief deputy would be willing, he'd be more than happy to be on the committee. So that was a go, as far as what I looked at. I then we talked about police chief. So again, my feeling is we keep it so that whoever we're putting on there understands their department a little bit better. And so what I was looking at is that we would have the police chief picked by the sheriff's office or them picking a police chief that would be on that committee to work with them. So that we would have somebody that everybody works with and still works with our department. Next, I looked at, because we're looking at, I had the city administrator, because we looked at the financial aspect of it, and she works with all the departments. So she could pull in the departments on how that would work. The other thing I looked at was an elected official. And I see that the mayor had said something, and I actually was looking at the mayor because that is the head of our government. If the mayor would have decided not to or whatever, well, then it would have went to the council president or whatever, but since mayor, so I had that, so that kind of covers all facets of what we're looking at. as a group. Then I was thinking about the police department themselves, the officers, the staff. And I think it would be, you know, how you could get input. So I was looking at, why couldn't we say, let's ask them one question? What would they like to see in a chief? Individually. That would be sent in, and then that would be given to the committee, all right? And the rest of the commission. The whole idea, even though we have this committee, the whole commission has to be kept abreast of what's, if that means we have extra meetings, I would think we have extra meetings. But then they pull it together and the whole commission then can look at what they look at or what they kind of were looking at deciding and the overall of how we can make our decision. Yes, we have the final say, but I think the more people that we have involved in, and especially where the police department has involvement, it's gonna be so important. The other thing I looked at is that, and I think we agreed, we need to keep this going. So if the applications are due the July 10th, okay, so if we do get the committee going right away, and they can go through those, they can get that done, we can work in August on getting the commission together and going through what they add, and I would hope by September, we can name a police chief. Somewhere in there, depending on how many applications they get, okay, that would be a key, but looking at the bright side, trying to say, okay, let's look at how we would kind of do that. But the key is to me, as a commissioner, that we're all involved and we know what's happening. I think we have the panel, you know, and we can have the panel together, but yet it's gonna come back to all of us. Okay, they won't make a, you know, and we can get an idea of what's happening. We also can feel comfortable with the people we know that care about our police department, okay, that work with them, as far as the law enforcement aspect of it. And we have a great police department, so we just need to keep that type of thing going. And so that's what I had brought up and come up with, and I just wanted to present that to the commission.
Very well thought out, for sure.
So,
Yeah. And especially the fact that we need input and accountability from all that are gonna be part of this,
I agree.
especially internally with the department itself. You know.
and I
We don't have
thought,
to work with this person every day, right?
Mhm.
So we wanna make sure we're picking.
and I thought one question that would say what they're looking at, and that can be done with the departments too. What are you looking at? You know, so we could, but everybody that would have a feeling of what really, and they might come up with different questions because there might be a question that somebody else came up with saying, oh, hey, what's that happen? That seemed important. So,
Is that something we could all agree on? Like, is that something we want to get Noah to do to, you know, can he reach out to all the officers and have them?
well, I think
Well,
Or do you
we
want us
should,
to do it?
do that.
yeah, I think if we could address, you know, like, we do that, like, if Jesse would help us with that.
Sure.
Okay, like,
However you guys wish to.
we would come up with a question, Jesse would send it, the stuff would go back to Jesse.
Okay.
And then she can get it to the committee, and then it's cut that way.
If I may, I just wanted to let you know, that if you guys create an interview panel, which I think makes perfect sense, I definitely encourage that, it would be considered a governing body. So we do have to notify their meetings, and then we would post it as a closed session for when they are actually doing. But just so you guys know that, we'll be creating another governing body, although hopefully short-lived.
Yeah.
But we will have to create agendas
Sure.
and notify those.
I was just looking at, we have a process.
Yes.
That's big, you know, that we can keep it going, so that's just what I come up with.
Denise, can you help us out? A couple of years ago, did we go, ask the officers what they wanted to see? Or what?
So when we hired Doug, we had some feedback prior, from fire department members that we kind of utilized, in our decision-making process in our panels.
When
and
we
stuff like
hired
that.
the chief, well, didn't we go ask some of the patrolmen what they wanted to see? Am I dreaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
what
had-
he's,
yeah,
that's kind of what
And
he's,
that's similar
yeah,
to
that's a
what.
similar-
Right, I'm just making
What
sure
Gary's-
everybody gets a chance to get a response back, and we have a specific question for them.
is there a specific question that we would like Jesse to?
Well, I was looking at what they would like to see in a police chief.
It's open-ended.
You know,
Very
because you just tell us, you want leadership, you want, what do you want to see in the police chief?
Like, do you want to ask, like, what is the most important quality you see, or just an open-ended question with?
Just an open-ended question, let them think what they should, I'm sure they're gonna know. What do they want to see in a police chief, you know, I want one that does leadership, or I want one that, you know,
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, I think it's open-ended, it's pretty vague, or, pretty broad, not vague, but broad, that, I could see it going a lot of directions,
Morgan, your
so-
wheels look like they're spinning like.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
are, and I feel like we need to have more of a direct, when we leave it open-ended, that opens
Can we
it
put,
to a whole lot more
Yeah.
discussion.
what do you wanna see the chief? Leadership, like personality, like those kind of traits or qualities we wanna see, and maybe they can highlight some of the stuff, like in leadership, I look for this.
Yeah,
In an individual, like personality qualities, I look for a person that has these traits, or,
I just don't want to ask too many
Supervisor,
questions.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to overwhelm them.
right.
Like
But
they're
it could
taking
be
a
one
test.
question,
Like,
like,
it's not, I don't
no,
want it to
but
feel
it
like a
could be like
test.
4 topics within what I look for in a police chief, 4 things.
right, like just rank it,
Or rank it,
and
or,
then,
yeah.
but the little blurb under the one that they would put as number 1, of like what they would look for, say if leadership is it, or, but I think we have to have it a little bit more specific, because when it's open-ended, that just leaves too much room for not really an answer.
and you also gotta look at, they might look and say, we want a chief that has us out there active in the community, walking, doing stuff. So if you specifically put it, just check, they might have something where, hey, you know,
Well,
I
they can
know we
write it
like,
down.
we
Yeah.
doing this, so if we put something at the bottom, like, if you have something else, just
Open
put that in.
comments or whatever.
Yep, that's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, any feedback from anybody before, as we go through this, or before we get
So,
to this
no, we
process?
wanna,
Yeah.
what I would think we would do, we do this right away. Once the committee starts, they already have that information,
Yeah.
so then they can
As
establish
a foundation
questions.
to help,
Yes.
right, guide, yeah.
So we want, explain to me how you guys want this question formed so I can get it to Jesse.
That'd be good.
Because
Well,
I've heard a lot of opinions, but now we
Yeah.
need to like finalize it.
Read our minds.
It's all of our decisions, so I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
looking for the input, I'm gonna write it down and
Yeah.
then I will email it to Jessie so she,
I guess my question would be, when I send it out to the officers, should I put in there, that the police commission, would like you to share your thoughts with them and the interview committee, so they know who it's coming back to? Or is it just you, or is it just the committee? I just wanna
No.
make sure that they know who's going to read these. You
and I
know?
assume
Should be both.
And do you want them to be anonymous,
anonymous,
coming
like we
back
don't
to
need,
you?
we don't need to know who it is.
Okay, so I will tell them, I will compile their thoughts and give them to both the commission and the,
Interview.
Interview okay, compile anonymous, okay.
So what question and or subcategories are we looking at?
I like the, yes. what
I'm
would you
feeling
like to
wide
see?
open. It's basically, what do you want to see in the police chief? And let them explain.
I mean, that puts the emphasis on them, but then
We're back.
they
to
want
square
it, they want it a little less.
We want it
vague
a
than-
little less or more honed in, but if you guys think that just letting it go is, I don't care either way, I guess. My brain works kind
It's
of
all gonna be
where I like
compiled as
things
anonymous anyway,
this
so
way.
are you fine with
Lump
that,
versus split.
that question?
Yeah.
Just what would you like to see
It's
in
fine.
the next police chief?
Yes, that'll be
Well,
fine.
then I don't have to email it to you, Jesse, that's a very
That's fine.
straightforward question that we can send them.
I think it's important that we all have input, so that if
Yeah.
somebody feels that we want,
If you want more, absolutely, like,
we just do whatever, it's not like, It was just an idea that I had, we can compile on it.
All right, so that's.
Gets us started.
what- Are we,
When we hand them this question, let them take it home and think about it. You don't want a response immediately.
But we should put a deadline of when we need it by.
That's true. I can send it out as an email, or I can just put the paper copies in the office and people can pick them up and drop them back to me if they don't want to journey at all. Is that, I guess, I don't know. No one knows.
I'm fine with either way.
Yeah, and
Okay.
July 10th, when the, revenue's due,
I think
then we have to
Yep.
10 days or
My
9
guys
days now.
work obviously all hours, so they're not gonna be able to come in at midnight, grab a
Yeah.
thing and drop it off.
Just email
because
it.
your
Yeah,
day is closed.
they would
Yeah,
probably
Sure.
read their email frequently.
So
Yeah.
email,
Stuff that would include you.
But if they wanted it to be anonymous, they could print it for example, and.
Yeah,
As
put it in
long as you
envelope.
give them that specific instruction.
If you give them a very
Right.
specific instruction on where to put that when you're done, they will do that.
Okay, I guess that way they could feel like it's more anonymous.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And do we want to do it July, I mean, that gives them
We can do the 10th.
9 days.
Yeah. I mean, gives them a whole work week. Plus, I mean, people are working the weekends or
Well, and
nights
then
or,
we have
you
the
know,
holiday and who
the
knows.
holiday, yeah.
Well, do we have
I
any
think that
people,
starts at 9?
do we have any officers that are gonna be off for the
Yeah,
next
for
week?
holiday.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, we do have various vacations coming up, and that would be my concern, a short turnaround.
Okay.
And I guess, I mean, some guys might give you long-winded answers, and some might not really give you a long answer,
Sure.
just knowing the guys.
Yeah.
So I
I mean, we're not
would
going to
think 2
pasteurize them
weeks
if
would
we
be
don't
better, but
turn
it's
it
up
in.
to you guys.
Okay.
How long,
yeah.
how long do you think?
2 weeks, potentially, just
Let's-
because
Yeah, that's,
Let's do that, what do you think?
I know there are some vacations coming up.
No, that,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Am I correct in assuming that anytime you do an interview process, you pretty much, for fairness, have to ask the same questions of each of your candidates?
I know
So-
we have done the
so-
police officer interviews, they ask the same questions.
Right, so I guess the point that I'm kind of roundabout getting to here is, it's great to get input from the force about what they're looking for, but at most you can keep that on top of your mind because you can't keep adding all these different questions.
But you can form it in the phrase of questions to figure out what their leadership style is,
Yeah,
what
so-
their.
you'll have those questions done before you
Yes.
even do your first question, so they'll all still get that
So
same
they'll all
question.
get it, right. I was speaking
won't be
more,
adding.
I was speaking more in reference to the fact that we might have some late submissions or things like that, that it would just more or less be questions on top of mind, not necessarily questions in the interview process. That's all I wanted to get.
Okay. And Chief, you are free to go if you do not have to stay and listen to us. This is out of your realm, so feel free to, yeah, I know you're a busy guy,
Pretty
so.
sure I'm not gonna be involved in the process.
okay, so.
All right, so 2 weeks,
Yeah, we said the
The
15th.
15th.
Would that be more accommodating?
Yeah, I think that would be
15th is a Wednesday? Okay, Wednesday the 15th.
And that will be the officers and the whole staff.
Yeah.
everyone.
timeline after that. What is our timeline gonna, like, do we wanna determine what we're going to do next? Like, you seem to have a very, like, I mean, you've worked with Green Lake County, you've worked with the sheriff's office, you've worked with multiple different police chiefs. Do we wanna set up specific names of an interview panel tonight?
If we have that information.
Yeah.
We have that
I
information.
don't want the chief, I want,
Yeah.
Matt Bandy, the chief deputy,
Yep.
will be the representative.
For the county.
Yeah, and that's why we'll let
We
them,
let them,
we're gonna let them pick the chief, because we know they'll do a good job of picking them,
okay,
okay?
Yeah.
And then that'll be, so we'll prove that, once they give us that, it'll be given to everybody.
Okay.
Okay? But what we'd have now is we'd have our panel together, we just have to pick our two commissioners.
Yeah. right,
If everybody goes with the rest, then we would have our panel.
I mean, if everybody agrees to that, then everybody.
yeah. I think
Is
that's
everybody in
fair. Let's see,
agreement
1,
with-
2, 3, 4, 5, it's
I
an
mean-
even number, that's the only thing I have.
Well, I have 4, what did you have, 4?
Commissioners
You had 6 if we included
Yeah,
the
there's 7.
city administrator and the mayor.
and mayor.
We have 2 commission members, sheriff's department, a police chief,
Mhm.
that's, okay, city, that's
City
4.
admin and the mayor.
And the mayor, 6.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, odds versus evens, that's all. Well,
And
well, that's not
I've
panel, it's an odd
I've
number,
expressed
that's why it's
my,
always
my concerns with Katrina.
Okay,
Only that there is a separation of powers
yeah,
between the police and fire commission
Sure.
and the mayor.
Right.
That's the only
And
concern
what's-
I had approached towards her. I said, I'm 100% for you being involved,
Sure.
having input, but I don't want to blur those lines
Yeah.
of having the mayor on the interview panel.
yeah, describe an observer to me, I've never been in an interview where there's been an observer. What's an observer in an interview?
Someone that sits there and watches.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
I
that's-
guess,
that would be my
okay,
best
I
guess,
guess,
but-
yeah, because you mentioned an observer in your.
I mean, if you have questions, I guess, that, like, I'm thinking of when we did Jesse's interviews, like, there's a panel of us and we all ask a question. So I say an observer, at the end of the day, we know I don't have a vote, I'm not the one picking this. I mean, would I love to be involved? Absolutely. But I guess the observer versus, I'm not voting on this, I'm not,
I mean, ultimately, if you guys want, I'm just expressing my concerns, and I've already shared this with Katrina, like, there's a very clear separation of powers between this
Yeah.
commission.
And she
and-
realizes that you know it.
But, I mean, that's not saying she can't go on the interview panel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a say. Ultimately, it still comes back to us
Mhm.
for a final decision, regardless of how.
Sure,
So, totally up to you guys, whatever you guys.
Sure. That's what, the bottom line is, we can put whoever we want on an interview committee, because they aren't gonna be making a vote. But we're the ones that make the final decision on the vote, and that's where it comes to where, and everybody knows that, that's where the voters come to, because the commission is the one that takes care of it. When it comes to anything else, that should be where we are just like, some more information we can get back.
And that's where I
I
totally agree with that too.
It'd be different if somebody came to, well, we're gonna make a vote, okay, that's a whole different thing, so I myself don't think we're crossing that line by having any, but whoever we want on that committee.
And that's where I didn't know which way
Yep.
you guys wanted to
But
go.
that's
So
just, again,
Totally.
I just, my.
I'm neutral.
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, I'm just
expressing my
asking clarifying
concerns, like,
questions,
that's all.
Okay.
So if we'll do 2 commission members, Green Lake County Sheriff's Office, Chief Deputy, they'll choose
Police chief.
a police chief. Do you want to include the city administrator and the mayor on that interview panel?
I would say yes.
And is it gonna be one interview panel? Is it gonna be one-time shot? I mean, we're not gonna know until we get all these, applications in, but is it gonna be a follow-up interview? Potentially.
It'll be one panel, and then we can decide how we want to do that.
Okay. if-
After that,
Okay.
yeah, let's just do one panel.
All right.
When that gets done, we can worry about how we're gonna handle that.
Okay,
If, you know,
yeah. if need
it
be.
might just take the panel longer to do stuff, okay?
Sure. Okay.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
Stupid question.
I mean, Jesse, are you
Those
okay
are
with?
good questions.
No, say,
I know Katrina, you're okay with sitting on there?
yes.
my stupid question, say we get an application from a 55-year-old lieutenant from Milwaukee. Do we have to interview everybody, or can we just cut some out to begin with?
Yeah.
I would say the more the merrier, but like
It's not a retirement
Triage.
job.
Mhm.
You do not have to, you do not have to interview everyone, no. That could be direction that you provide to the panel, or you could have the panel, since you have some expertise, the sheriff and the police chief and stuff is, help guide, and depending on how many applications we end up with. If you only end up with 3,
Yeah.
it might make sense to
There you
interview
go.
everybody. If you get 125, we won't, then you definitely need to,
You like clear the rest of your summer.
yeah, then you definitely need to tailor that down to a reasonable number, but yeah, nobody's entitled to an interview.
Can I ask a question? Are we naming the commissioner so I can make that notation?
Is there anybody that wants to volunteer to sit on the panel?
Depends on when you guys are doing interviews. I'm gone the month of July. So if you're doing it in July, I'm out.
I mean, I would assume it would,
Put my chair back, I'll let you guys
I mean-
pick it up.
I would have, if I volunteered to be on that.
I am unemployed, just school begins.
There you go.
and I am quite busy until September,
Right,
so
right.
Morgan?
I don't care one way or the other.
Okay,
If you say, Morgan, you do it, I'll say, okay. But I don't, not gonna volunteer.
I mean, Gary sounds like he's
He's
done
in.
both.
I got time.
He's got
Yeah,
time.
people, yeah, they got time, right?
Keith, sorry, he's got time till
Okay.
school starts up, so do,
Yeah,
are we
that
in
works
agreement
for
with those? Gary and Keith?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we have to discuss with the process, timeline, interview panel? Anything else anybody wants to
I
throw out
think we'll
there?
just let the committee take it from there then, right? And share,
And make sure
make sure,
that the commission knows what's going on.
exactly, share what's going on, right?
Yes.
Can I
Right.
suggest, just from doing this with Jesse, like, start setting some dates now?
And we'll let,
Set your follow-up, your deadline is what day?
July 10th.
Set a date for the next week to start going over them all and weed them out. Start setting, otherwise you guys have to have
I mean, you
another
guys said
special
you have
meeting to
time.
set it.
Actually, talking to Chief Deputy Manuel Bengal, he's ready to go on it. Okay, so, and because I was giving him kind of a timeline, and
Do we want to set a date though, like that?
Can I ask?
I think that's gonna be hard to set a date to.
Or for you guys?
I don't think for us, for the committee, for the interview.
Could you do this, let the committee talk and get together and say, here will be our dates?
Yeah.
Okay, we can get that back to the commission, but we'll be going on the dates. We won't wait,
Yeah.
get approval. It'll be like, here are gonna be our dates. You'll know when the dates are, okay? But it's not gonna be dragged out, all right? So,
Yeah, I think it's hard to set like a specific date to
Yeah,
get stuff done when we
don't know.
don't know
Yeah.
exactly who.
Right.
But the committee could get together next week if you posted it, and they could set the timeline. You could set up a first committee timeline right now and base it
Oh, yes,
on the
that's
end
the
of the
ultimate.
thing and start.
Yeah.
setting up the-
Yeah,
Just so people can plan, summer's gonna get away.
Oh, sure. I mean, if you're saying that you want the committee created and you'd like them to have a meeting prior to your next meeting,
I'm just saying.
that seems like a good direction.
I think that's a good
Is that
idea,
fair?
but I
Yeah.
don't know who's all gonna be available, like what time, what if they're not all available for that date?
you could say, okay, we would like the committee to meet next week. Let the committee then.
Yeah.
We know we gotta have so much time because it's an organized committee through the city, okay? It's gotta be posted, correct?
It has to be posted and we have to find out who the other member is.
Right,
I
that's,
mean, I guess, I'm okay with next week, but it might be kind of hard to get that done.
I'm just saying.
I would just say-
I'm not saying.
Right, I would, if you're okay with it, I would say prior to the commission's next meeting. So if we can do it next week, awesome. If we need 2 meetings between now and then, if you're okay with that, you know,
I mean, we could wait till after the deadline of the
Or
applicants.
just have the 10th be the date.
And then then they could, at their,
Or the
at their
15th,
meeting, they
after the
could
15th.
look over the applicants.
yeah, because we have to get we have to have 2 weeks to get all those back from the police department themselves.
Yeah,
The committee then, before that can get set, they know who's gonna be on it.
Yep.
Here are our dates. We know that stuff's gonna be in, and then we can go from there. All that sound.
so
Was there a specific date in there somewhere? Sorry, I would.
set a meeting between July 15th when the officers need to have their stuff in and before your next meeting. Okay. Which is beginning of August, I didn't look it up, but, okay.
So we.
Katrina's gotta work it into her schedule, like, what?
The week of the 20th, then.
So I
The
will,
week of July 20th is. If you could aim for sometime in there, because we don't have plan commission.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is this could probably.
This could be during-
the day.
exactly, this could be, that's what I'm saying, this could be a day thing, because,
Right in the conference room.
and I will find out tomorrow, I'll talk to the sheriff's office and get that taken care of right away, okay?
Yeah, so we will, understand that you would like them to meet prior to your next meeting.
Yeah.
I guess one question that I have is, like, do you want that committee to come up with the questions for you guys to review at the next meeting? Or do you just want them to handle that, or are you guys, I just need to know what I need.
I mean, I would be,
I wanna see those questions.
so I want to see the
Yeah.
questions, but I think they would be able to
They can compile
compile
that.
a list.
Okay,
That's
so
the
at
job of the
next
committee.
meeting, we need to take care of questions.
Yep.
Next meeting?
They're the first Wednesday of the
First
month,
Wednesday,
so
whatever
August,
that is.
I'm sorry, I didn't look it up.
August 5th.
August 5th.
Anything else that we need to discuss on the police chief interview process? I think we've got a good flow going.
Have you received any applicants yet?
Who's collecting?
Okay.
Well, that's far fetched from 150.
I told you we're not gonna get that many.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, yeah, we don't have to interview all of them. It might make sense to interview all of them. Don't know.
Does anybody else have any questions for Jesse on this police chief interview process?
I'm just glad you're involved. Thank you for getting involved.
I'm gonna email out before I leave tonight to the officers so that they know this question, and my plan is to just have an envelope on your side that they can stick it in, and, when you tell me they're all in, I'll come over and get it, or I'll come get it on the 15th.
You don't want to email back to you if guys are comfortable with that, or what are you thinking on that?
I think this way they can feel a little better that it's anonymous.
So just like print it and put it in an envelope?
Yeah, don't let them write it. Don't let them write it.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you can print it, that's probably better, so we can all read it.
Sounds good. Yeah, if they have questions, I just want to have the right answers for them.
Certainly.
Thanks, Gary, for spearheading this too. Like, getting this
Yeah, he's got tons of contacts, like, I mean,
That's just a motor. I'm sorry, I didn't want it to be like I was like.
No, we appreciate you taking the lead there.
That's his new job, that's what he does all day.
anything else on this topic? Any other comments? All right, we're moving on to number 10, old business. Anybody have any old business? New business, anybody have any new business? We did have a closed session on here to discuss the police chief search. I think we've just discussed everything that we need to discuss. So if everybody's fine, we do not need to go into closed session. I don't feel like there's anything that we have to discuss in the closed session. Everybody in agreement with that? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
We have a motion
Second?
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 7:17.